Welcome dear students for another segment of the grade 9 mathematics class of St. Peter's College, Colombo 4, Negombo branch. Today our lesson is going to be on circumference of a circle. Now in the previous years, in the previous grades, you have already learned about the different parts of a circle, starting from the center, then the radius, then the diameter, then the chords, and also the circumference. In this particular lesson, we are not going to discuss about the part in terms of a part of a circle as the circumference as in terms of a part, but we are going to learn about the mathematical calculations that we can do using the circumference of a circle. So this lesson is a very short lesson with a very simple set of formulas. So first we need to understand what do you mean by the circumference of a circle. The total length of the boundary of a circle or the perimeter of a circle is known as the circumference. Now, if I consider a sphere, this is the total length around the sphere. This is the total length around the sphere. When you are asked to calculate the perimeter, what you do is you add the four sides of the sphere and you get the value. But if I consider a circle, it is difficult for us to add the values and get. We can't add values and get the perimeter of a circle. For that reason, we are using the circumference. So circumference is the total length of the boundary of a circle. This is the boundary of the circle. The total length of this whole boundary is considered as the circumference, and that is usually marked as C. We usually mark the circumference as C. Or it can be also called as the perimeter of a circle. You know the total length of the boundary is anyway the perimeter. So circumference can either be defined saying that it is the total boundary around the circle or the total boundary of a circle, or you can say it is just the perimeter of the entire circle, right? Is known as its circumference. Then calculating the circumference of a circle using a formula. So we have designed, in mathematics they have designed us a formula to calculate the circumference of the circle. That is to calculate this entire value of the circle, the entire boundary value of the circle. They have introduced us two formulas actually. The first formula we are discussing when the radius is given to you. In a circle, if the radius is given to you, we are using the formula C equals 2 pi r. I will explain to you the meaning of pi later, right? I will explain the meaning of pi later, but for now understand to calculate the circumference of a circle, when the radius is given, we are using the formula 2 pi r. The value of pi I will explain to you later. Next, if the diameter is given, we use the formula C equals pi d to calculate the circumference of a circle. This is used when you have already been given the diameter of the circle, right? So the previous formula, this formula we are using when the radius is given to you, right? The other formula we are using when the diameter is given to you. But the point is that even if you have been given the diameter, you can still use C, that is circumference equals 2 pi r. The reason is C equals 2 pi r. Radius is always the half of a diameter. Radius is always the half of a diameter. So instead of putting the radius, you can still use d divided by 2, right? Instead of using the radius, you can use d divided by 2. Now generally, if I consider C equals 2 pi r, the meaning of this formula is 2 into pi value into r. You know, when there are no signs in between, there's always a multiplication sign that is hidden, right? So in these sort of questions, when you're using the formula, if you're not using this, but you're using this formula, even if the diameter is given, you can still take the radius as diameter divided by 2, because you know half of the diameter is considered as the radius. So radius will be diameter dividing by 2. Okay, so we can take the circumference as 2 into 5 into d divided by 2 in case if you are using that formula when the diameter is already given. But other than that, we actually have two formulas. The first formula is this, where we are going to use the radius to find the circumference, that is c equals to 2 pi r, and the second formula is this, c equals pi d. That formula is used when you are given the diameter instead of the radius. But still, I told you, even if you want to use 2 pi r, you can use in this question by putting d divided by 2 instead of r, because we know that we have already learned this in grade 7 that radius is actually half of the diameter. So you can still use this even if you want. Still the diameter is given. Next. Yes. Now you might have had a problem saying that what is the meaning of this symbol pi? Right? It's a Greek word. It's a Greek word. It's a Greek symbol. In that we use a lot of Greek symbols in mathematics, but this is one of the most important ones, or one of the most frequently used symbols in the mathematics lessons. The number pi is a mathematical constant. The meaning of constant is that its value does not change. Okay, it is not an unknown term like x or y or a or b. These are unknown terms. The reason is any value can be used instead of x, y, a or b. You can, especially you have done lesson like graphs, where you can use any number for the given values of x and y. Right? These are unknown terms. For unknown terms, you can use any number or any value. But for a constant, you can't change its value. Constant is, it's fixed. You know, the value of pi is generally taken as 22 over 7. In a lot of mathematical questions, in a lot of mathematical sums, we will be doing till grade 10 and 11 or in the advanced level. Generally for pi, we are using the value of 22 over 7. That is the constant value. It is not changing. For any question, you have to use 22 over 7, but also we use this decimal 3.14159. It is not stopping, it will be recurring. It will be just moving, it will be infinitely moving. It will just go further, it won't stop. So we use a rounded off, a nearest value, we use 3.14. So generally the term pi, in our mathematical context, we take it as 22 over 7, or you can take it as 3.14. But usually when you are doing questions, it is better if you can use 22 over 7 for answering questions, because it is easily simplifiable in the steps that we will be using. So either we use 22 over 7 or either we use the decimal value. Okay, but usually we are using the fraction, that is 22 over 7. The number pi is a mathematical constant, that is, it's a fixed value, it won't change. It is defined as the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. Ratio in the sense, right? The value phi, right? The value pi can be taken as the ratio of circle's circumference over diameter. When you divide the circumference and the diameter of any circle, when you divide the circumference by the diameter of any circle, right, you will always receive this answer. It can, the third decimal or the second decimal might change a bit, but still whatever the circle you take, for any circle with any radius or any diameter, take the circumference and divide by the diameter and see for any circle, you will always receive this fraction as a constant. Take the circumferences of like 10 circles and divide by the diameters of 10 different circles, you still get the same value for phi. Or this fraction will be the same value, right? That means phi is going to be a constant. That is the reason why we consider phi as a constant. But we don't need a very broader idea. This is the broad idea of what you mean by pi. But for us, we need that pi is taken as 22 over 7. That is the value that we will be taking for our questions, right? So we are going to the first question. That is a simple example. That is going to be find the circumference of a circle of radius 7 centimeters. See, they have given you take pi is equal to 22 over 7. Sometimes they might give it to you in the exam, sometimes not. Therefore, you have to remember that pi is always taken as 22 over 7, or you can use 3.14, but better to use the fraction. Then we are using the formula we know. C equals 2 pi r because the radius is given to us. That is 7 centimeters. So I will take C equals 2 pi r, that is 2 into pi into 7. So see, instead of pi I have taken the given value, that is 22 over 7. So when I simplify this, 7 will cancel. 2 times 22 will be 44 centimeters. Right? This is a simple question of finding the circumference of a given circle using the 2 pi r formula. That is 2 into pi into r. 2 into pi value is 22 over 7 into 7. So 7 will cancel. 2 times 22 will be equal to 44. Next. The second example here, they are asking us to find the perimeter of the semicircle. So when you take the perimeter of the semicircle, you have an arc. This arc is exactly half of a circle. This is a separate straight line. So 2 pi r cannot be used for this straight line. 2 pi r is only used for this arc. If I mark it as C, 2 pi r is only used for this given arc. For that, see, arc length of the semicircle, which I have marked as C, that is half of 2 pi r. Why do I consider it as half of 2 pi r? 2 pi r is for the entire circle. Semicircle is exactly half of that, right? So that is the reason for the given formula I have used half, right? Half of 2 pi r. Then that is half into 2 into the pi value is 22 over 7. That has been already given to you in the question. Into, instead of the diameter, I have used the radius here. Since I have used r, radius is going to be diameter. 21 centimeters is the diameter of the circle. 21 divided by 2. You will get a decimal. Don't take the decimal, take the fraction to the simplification, which is easy, right? Instead of using phi d, in the next step I will explain the same question using C equals phi d. Instead of using C equals phi d, I have used 2 phi r, that is half of 2 phi r because of the semicircle. So here when I was substituting the values, instead of r I have used the diameter divided by 2, that is 21 divided by 2. Now when I simplify, 2 will cancel. 2 times 1, 2 times 11. 7 times 1, 7 times 3. So 3 times 11 will be 33 centimeters. That is going to be only the arc length, not the entire perimeter. 33 centimeter is only this arc length. So the whole perimeter of the semicircle is going to be the arc length 33 plus this straight line 21. That is going to be 33 plus 21, which is going to be 54 centimeters. If I explain this to you again, in this question they are asking me to find the perimeter of the semicircle. So in the semicircle you have two parts. You have a part of a straight line and you have an arc. So for the arc length you can use the circumference of a circle concept. But the point is that when you use the formula 2 pi r, remember you have to put half in front of it, because 2 pi r is used for the entire circle, but this is half of it. So that for that reason we have used half in front of 2 pi r, and that is going to be half into 2 into pi value, that is 22 over 7 into, instead of the radius I have put diameter divided by 2 because I am given the diameter. There are many people who find when it is not divisible by 2, it is in vain you find a decimal and use it in the formula. So do not use any decimals. It's easy if you use the fraction itself to the formula, because with the other parts it will be simplifying easily. So I have simplified this part of the formula and I have used the answer as 33 centimeters. 33 centimeter is only the length of the arc. So to find the entire perimeter of the semicircle, to this arc length, that is 33, you have to add this 21, which is the length of the semicircle, because you know the perimeter is going to be the entire length. So 33 plus 21 centimeters, the whole perimeter will be taken as 54. Okay. So now we'll see using, now this we have found using 2 phi r. Let's see if we use phi d, whether we get the same answer for the arc length. So the same question we are doing using a different formula. Here we are using the concept of phi d, circumference, that is this part, right? This part we are using the concept of phi d. So the arc length of the semicircle is going to be half of phi d. Phi d is for the entire circle, right? But for the semicircle it has to be exactly half of it. So we take half pi d, then half into 22 over 7 into 21. 21 is just the diameter. So here I am using the diameter value. Then if you still simplify, 2 times 1, 2 times 11, 7 times 1, 7 times 3, 3 times 11 is going to be 33. The same answer that we got previously. So to the 33 value of the circumference, I have to add the straight line value, that is 21. That means the addition of the entire length will give you the total perimeter of 54 centimeters. So that's a proof that even if you use 2 phi r or even if you use phi d, you will still get the same answers, right? Next question. Right, another point that can be given using circumference of a circle is that there can be more practical questions. There can be questions related to a playground or compounded figures questions. But more than that, this is a very common question that has been asked previously in exam papers, which is about the rotation of wheels, right? So rotation of wheels concept is also based on the circumference. One rotation is taken as one complete circumference of a circle. So says a wheel of radius 35 centimeters moves along a straight road. So the wheel has been given to you with the radius that is 35. Find in meters. Now this is given in centimeters. So you are asked to find the value in meters. The distance it moves during one full rotation. Remember, one full rotation is actually one circumference, one total round. You know this is one rotation. One full rotation is one total round. That is one complete circle. So if you're asked to find the distance it moves during one full rotation, you have to find the circumference of the circle. Then what is the distance it moves in meters during 100 rotations is that if you know the value of one full rotation, you can multiply by 100 to get the value for 100 full rotations. Then they say, how many rotation does the wheel undergo when traveling a distance of 1.1 kilometers, that we will find in the answer. But the most important point I have to explain here is that if you are asked to find the rotation of a wheel, one rotation is one round. That means one complete circumference. Okay. So find in meters the distance it moves during one full rotation is that question is generally asking you to find the circumference of the given circle. So remember, this full rotation is dealing with the full round or full one circumference of a circle. So we find out the answers. So see, during one full rotation of the wheel, it moves a distance which is equal to its circumference. That is, one rotation is the circumference. See, one full rotation of the wheel, it moves a distance which is equal to its circumference. So you have to find the circumference of the given circle. So that is going to be 2 pi r, 2 into 22 over 7 into the radius has been given as 35. Then the circumference is 2.2 meters. Therefore, the distance traveled during one full rotation is going to be 2.2 meters. See, the distance for one full rotation, I have taken the entire circumference using the formula 2 pi r. Even if you want, you can use phi d, but I have used 2 pi r. Then 2 into 22 over 7 into 35, that is 2.2 because, Then next, distance traveled using 100 rotations is for one full rotation if you are traveling 2.2. Then for 100 rotations, it is going to be 220 meters. For one full rotation, if you are traveling 2.2 meters, for 100 rotations, it has to multiply by 100. The distance traveled Now they are asking you, if they travel a distance of 1.1 kilometers, how many rotations have it undergone, the wheel? Then you have to see, now these answers I have found in meters, so we have to check. Now for 1.1 kilometers, we have to travel 1100 meters. Then the distance traveled during one rotation of wheel is 2.2, right? So the distance traveled by the wheel during one rotation or one complete round is the circumference, that is 2.2. It has to travel a distance of 1100 meters, right? The distance it travels using one rotation of the wheel is 2.2, but the whole thing has to travel 1100 meters in a distance. So you have to see how many rotations it has to take. So for that, what we do is we take the complete distance that has been traveling, that is 1100, and you divide it by one rotation value, that is 1100 divide by 2.2. Therefore, the number of rotations it has to undergo is going to be 2200, that is 1100 into 2.2, that is 2200 meters, right? Then, so we have found the answers for all the three concepts, saying that what is the distance it has to travel in one full rotation. That is the most important part of this question, where you have to understand that one full rotation of a wheel or of a circle is actually the circumference we are discussing about. Okay, right. So the general summary of this lesson on the circumference of a circle is that we have two formulas to calculate the circumference of a circle. One, when your radius is given, we can use c equals 2 pi r. In case if the diameter is given, we can use c equals to phi d, right? Phi value is a constant. It is not changing. It's fixed for any question. So it can be taken as 3.14, or what we use generally is 22/7. And also some important points. A point that was very important in during this this part of the lesson was that if they ask you about one rotation, remember that one rotation is going to be equal to one circumference of a circle. So that is all we have from this lesson today. So till I meet you next week, thank you and may God bless you all.